I am Harrison Graham, and you are watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And on today's show, we're going to answer all of your questions here on a mailbag. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat, and producer Trizzy Trace, Lord Trizzy Trace, can load up your questions today. Kate Chappell, Harrison, predict our record at the end of the season. So let me just pull up the old schedule Rooski here for the Chiefs. I think before the year I said 13-4. Right now they are 3-2. The remaining games: Jacksonville at home, win. That's 7-2. At the Chargers, I'll go win, 8-2. Rams at home, win, 9-2. At Bengals, I think at Chargers, at Bengals, you'll probably lose one of those, so I'll go loss between one of those two, so that gets you to 9-3. At Denver, 10-3. At the Texans, 11-3. Seahawks at home, could be a sneaky one. I'll go 12-3. Broncos at home, 13-3. And then it probably doesn't matter for Week 18 at the Raiders. Rest your starters, lose 13-4. So could fall right at what my prediction was, but I think floor 11 wins, ceiling 14 wins. They're probably somewhere in that gap. PS4, the new frontier. Is this Orlando's last season in KC? I think he'll be here for at least one more. I think there's a good chance they'll tag him again. If they tag him, it's $20 million, and for 1 year, I think that's worthwhile because you're probably not going to be able to pay for an upgrade at left tackle next year realistically. So I think tagging him again is a pretty reasonable outcome here. If he balls out the rest of the season, maybe a long-term contract happens, but he's kind of done what he did last year. The first half of last year, he was up and down, then he balled out. To start the first half of this year, he's been up and down. We'll see how he plays the rest of the season, but I do think he'll be here for at least one more year. Jay, could we trade for Joe Mixon this offseason for CEH and some picks? Joe Mixon in this offense would be so good. He just had such a big game for Cincinnati. A, I don't think the Bengals are going to move him, and B, I don't think they have any interest in CEH. I don't know what Mixon would go for on the open market. He's a running back. I don't think he'd be a first-round pick, but he's a big part of the Bengals offense, so I don't think he's going anywhere. Chad Jamison, would you re-sign Juju to a long-term deal? If he keeps playing like this, absolutely. I mean, he's on pace to have over 1,200 yards. Last 3 games, he has about 300 yards receiving total and a couple of touchdowns. He's this team's number 1 receiver right now. Now, he's not a true, alpha male number 1. Look, let's be honest. With Tyreek Hill with the year, he ain't Tyreek Hill. Now, no one is, but Juju's a good player. I mean, I'd give him 2-3-year deal of, 18 to 20 million per year if he'd be willing to take that because he's producing like a number 1 receiver. What move do the Chiefs need to make to keep up with Buffalo down the line? I mean, look, I think the Chiefs are caught up with Buffalo. They lost a close game, and so what? They haven't lost to the Bills in the playoffs yet. Mahomes can go toe-to-toe, if not outplay Allen. In the big games, he has outplayed him. Defensively, I would say, I think down the line, you would certainly want to increase that pass rush. I would give the Bills the defensive advantage, but I would give the Chiefs the slight quarterback advantage. I think in a big do-or-die game, I will take Mahomes over Allen right now. So, I think it's very close between the teams, but the Chiefs have been there and done that, and Buffalo has come up short in the big one. So the Bills got to show me they can do that, but I will say I think this defense still needs to get a little bit better, although I think they've been trending in a pretty good direction. Caden, should the Chiefs look to sign Ndamukong Suh? I mean, maybe that's a piece to add, at least for this year, down the stretch. Now, I will say, Kalen Saunders, he's having a great year finally. He's kind of been on the roster bubble the last couple of seasons. Had a sack against Tennessee, led the team in tackles. But Suh has 12 sacks over the last 2 years. I'm surprised that he has not landed on a roster up to this point. I'll be curious to see if a team signs him. Should the Chiefs sign Suh? What do you guys think? Type S for sign or P for pass. I'm open to it. I don't know what kind of shape he's in, but at worst, he would provide some veteran experience. All right, the past master, Nick Bolton's brother, what a stud. I think you're just saying Nick Bolton, bro, what a stud. Yeah, dude, he's legit, man. I mean, his play to blow up that screen for a loss of 4 to knock the Titans out of field goal range on a drive that if Tennessee scores, they go up 2 scores. Early in the 4th or late in the 3rd, whenever that was a huge play. Sniffed that out, shed the blocker, blew up the running back for a loss of 4. He's fantastic. I mean, he's becoming one of the best off-ball linebackers in the NFL. That was a great pick for Brett Veach. Brian Gales, when will we bring up Danny Shelton if he could help with stopping the run? Yeah, I mean, he could be a guy to give a look. I like how Kalen Saunders, is playing for Kansas City. Yeah, I mean, you could give Shelton a look on a game day, maybe elevate him from the practice squad, see what he can do. I thought the Chiefs did a much better job on Derrick Henry in the second half. But yeah, I mean, they still have issues stopping the run at times. There's no doubt about it. Want a free jersey? Here's what you got to do. You got to get going with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. You got to sign up by using our link. Go to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Got to use that link and then plug in the promo code Chiefs125. Here are the steps to follow in full to get a free jersey. Do what I just said, chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Plug in the promo code Chiefs125. You got to deposit at least $100, but that's the way to go anyway because you get $125 for free with that 100% deposit bonus with code Chiefs125. Then you place a bet of any kind, $5 or more, Chiefs game, college basketball, literally does not matter. Any bet of any kind. And then email us proof that you've gotten going with BetUS and that you have placed that bet. Jersey@chatsports.com is the email address, and we will hook you up with a brand new jersey. We got Patrick Mahomes jerseys and Travis Kelce jerseys in stock. I think you can get the Mahomes and the white jerseys as well, so a little bit of variety there. Jersey@chatsports.com. After you get going with BetUS, chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, and we will hook you up with the jersey. New customers only with BetUS. If you already have a BetUS account, this is not for you. But if you haven't gotten going yet, here's a little incentive to do just that. Jose B., who would you like the Chiefs to sign in the offseason? I'm not looking super far ahead, but some edge rushers. I'd like to get a pass rusher or two to add to this defense. I think getting a different running back could maybe be in the cards. I think there's a chance Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets cut, is not on this team next year. We'll see what happens there. Those are a couple spots. Maybe add an offensive lineman somewhere along that front as well. Those are a few different positions to monitor. Maybe a safety too, because Juan Thornhill's a free agent. Justin Reid's got 2 more years on his deal, but I do think getting another piece in the back end could make some sense. Jay says, did the Dolphins win the Tyreek trade? I mean, it's hard to say, but he's having an unreal season. The Chiefs got 5 draft picks out of it. We'll see what that turns into. But I told you at the time I wasn't a huge fan of it because I think Tyreek's a generational player, and he's shown that to be the case. Now, the Chiefs would not have been able to sign both Juju and MVS without that trade, but you tell me, would you rather have Tyreek or Juju and MVS? I'd probably take Tyreek. Now, the Chiefs have the number 1 scoring offense this year. Or they did going into against the game against Tennessee, so it's not like the offense has severely struggled. But at the same time, imagine having Tyreek playing the way he is this year with Kelce, and then maybe you get one of Juju or MVS. It's a tough call. They didn't want to pay him $30 million, and they got to live with the results. But the good news is the Chiefs are still very much a Super Bowl contender. Shout out your city. Let us know where the Kingdom is representing from here on the Chiefs Report. We are here in Dallas, Texas, but we want to know where all of you guys are watching from on these mailbags, so go ahead and let us know in the comments. Got time for a couple more minutes here. Do you think Chanel will replace Willie Gay next year? Well, Willie Gay has 1 more year on his deal. I think he'll still be a starter next year. Willie Gay is a good player. I don't know if Chanel is ready for a full-time role yet, but as your Sam linebacker, your number 3 backer, I like what he can do. Let's continue to see him grow, but I think Bolton and Gay is still going to be your duo next season. Terry Singleton here. Do you think we are out on OBJ? I wouldn't say the Chiefs are out, but they don't need OBJ. I've said that for a couple weeks. They don't need him. Am I interested in him? Absolutely. Do I think it'd be fun to have even another weapon? Sure, you can never have enough weapons. But after trading for Tony, I mean, you've got 6 receivers that can play legitimately. I mean, you got Juju, MVS, McCole Hardman, maybe Sky Moore is probably your worst one right now, but you spent a second-round pick on him. You got Kadarius Toney and Justin Watson, who I still really, really like as a player. So I don't think the Chiefs are out. The question is OBJ in? I think he's probably looking at this like, I can probably get immediate impact and playing time elsewhere. So I'd be mildly surprised if he chose the Chiefs, but I do think that there will still be some mutual interest there. Appreciate the question. Don't forget to subscribe, guys.